all guests that are here, important guests that have been invited here this morning. I know that South Africans and the continent is watching us. Yes, we are live streaming. Everybody's watching. I would have made a very big mistake to do a press conference in Johannesburg and not do a press conference in Limpopo. And I think this is our last conference. We have spoken. Now we'll go on the ground. You know, we have been given 14 days to campaign. It has never happened in the history of South African Football Association. I was an NEC member in 2013. We started campaigning in 2012. I was an NEC member I was a candidate in 2018, and we started campaigning in 2017. In fact, the statutes are very clear. They are saying in your previous ordinary Congress, the Congress will decide on the date of the election for the next coming Congress, which will be in the next year. So you will know that in 2019, 2020, 2021, we have never had conferences. You'll attest to that, all of you who are sitting here, that we have seen political parties having congresses visually. During COVID, we have seen FIFA doing congresses. We have seen a number of organizations doing congresses. But our organization, we did not have any congresses for those three years. Now, and I think it's important for me to explain this, BK, that this date of the election of the 25th was not on the agenda of the Congress. And I want to explain so that South Africans and the continent must understand that I am an elected member of SAFA. When I go to the Congress, I'm not a member in that Congress. And I will explain why I'm saying I'm not so that people must never be confused by the media or people speaking out there on behalf of SAFA. The members of SAFA are the regions. We have got 52 regions. They will have 3 delegates, each region, to come to the Congress. Then you have the associate members. The associate member, we mean the masters and legends, university user, the deaf, the police, defense, they are 10. And they will have 2 delegates. They've got 1 vote each. Then you have the PSL. The PSL is our special member, and they will have members that are coming there, 4 members, and they will have 6 votes. Those are members that must come to the Congress and vote. The NEC, that has been elected to serve South Africans in terms of making sure that there's development of football, will have an NEC meeting before the Congress. So if the Congress is on the 25th, we'll have an NEC meeting on the 24th where we deliberate on the agenda of the Congress. Then when we have made our decision, we have deliberated, the chairman, which is who is the president of the organization of the NEC, will then present us there. I will not be asked I will not raise my hand in the Congress to object. I want it to be very clear, because every time I hear in the paper I hear people speaking, or she did not object. So I cannot object in the Congress. I can only object in the NEC meeting. And if an agenda is not in the NEC meeting, there's nothing for me to object, because it's not there. If it is brought into the Congress, there's nothing that I can do. I will just listen to the conversation, and if I need to object or to raise a dispute, that's what I will do. So I just wanted to explain that just before I address you, so that you understand the issue, how we are convened as a Congress, in a Congress, who are the delegates in the Congress. So even on the 25th, I will not be a delegate. I will be going there as a candidate that is going to be voted. So I'm sure I've made myself clear on that. And look, I think South African Football Association need change. And I want South Africans and all of you guests that are here to understand, or the change we are talking about is not the change of Real Ledwaba. Is the change to make sure that there is progress. We see progress in South African Football Association. We have a lot of challenges that I would take the whole day if I have to elaborate of them. And this conference is to show what is it that we believe as the incoming. We are the incoming leaders of South African. We must be able to have what we call governance. You know, in each and every organization, there is a constitution. You must abide by that constitution. There must be we need ethical leadership. We need leaders that we can rely on, leaders that we know are not for their own interest. There was a Picard Commission, do you remember it? A Picard Commission, one of the recommendations from the Picard Commission was football people must be volunteers. That is why we are volunteers. We are not paid a salary. We are not paid. It was because of that Picard Commission that was said. That commission was established by President Mandela when things were not going right in football. And the Picard Commission said, we do not want people to go into sports for benefiting, for making money out of sports. When you go into sports, you must go into sports because you have got passion and you are going to make a change, not because you are going to make money out of the sports. That's what the Picard Commission, one of the recommendations of the Picard Commission. Governance. You cannot have an organization that does not totally adhere. And I'm going to give you one simple example. The statutes are very clear. You will not discuss an item that is not on the agenda. It's in the Constitution. It doesn't need a vote. It doesn't need anybody to say there's an item we want. No. The agenda, if the item is not on the agenda, BK, you can't discuss it in the Congress. It's compliance with the statutes. The statute says as soon as the governance committee has decided on the candidates, they will send the list of the candidate to the CEO of the organization. And the CEO of the organization will immediately send that list to the members and to the NEC. Now you are sitting at home, you hear that the list is going to be issued this afternoon, then you get a call from a journalist saying, we see you are in. And I say, I don't know what you're talking about. No, there was a press conference at SAFA House, and the media has been given the list. Is that what the Constitution say? The Constitution is very clear. When the list come out, you send it to the members. The members can't hear from the media. They must get the list first, and then. But I'm just showing you that we have an organization. I must count myself in because I'm there. We must be an organization that adhere to our own statute. We created them, and we must be able to abide by those. Before we went into the Congress of the 26th, there was an NEC meeting, as I indicated. And I see the agenda, BK, and the agenda does not have, I'm talking about March this year. I see an agenda that does not have the date of the election. And then I immediately write a letter because I read. South Africans, we don't read. That's why people will manipulate us. People will, because they know that South Africans, we don't read. We have got a document here, we don't read. We receive the statutes, we don't read them. I read. And I was taught by the late Ntate Unyane, may his soul rest in peace, when he inducted me into the board of governors of PSL. The one thing he taught me, he said, you want to play in the men's game, this is your Bible. And he was giving me the constitution of the PSL and say, it must be something that is engraved in your mind every time, and you will be able to achieve. And I think I have stood by that book of the PSL when I was a board member there, and I could not be defeated when I decide, when I debate on issues. I do not debate on personal issues. I debate issues based on the statutes, which is the Bible. So then we go to the meeting. I wrote, I said, I see there's no date of the election. I'm sure you have heard the media that there was a 20,000 rand that was paid to all the NEC members, were 40. Can calculate how much is it. That's football money. Were paid Kadi 23, it's December 2021. And then I requested, then where does this come from? Because I don't remember sitting in a meeting where we spoke about paying. And I was told, no, yes, you were paid. And remember, the offices of SAFA were closed from the 15th of December to the 15th of January. So you ask yourself, then who pays when the offices of the association is closed? Then I sent my 20,000 rand back. I said, give me the account number. Because it's not authorized, I'm not. So when I did not see the date of the election there, then I wrote, I said, can we have these two items added, the date of the election and the 20,000 rand, because I want us to discuss that. Then I was told, no, it's an extraordinary meeting. When it's an extraordinary meeting, you do not, when they give you an agenda, that's the agenda. You can't add anything. So I went to the meeting knowing that there is no date of election. And indeed, there was no date. And indeed, in the NEC, we never discussed that. Then we go to the Congress. Then it is brought in the Congress. And, well, there were suggestions there, 31st of July, we can do the election. Someone said, no, but you said the election, the regions must all go on election first, and then the CEO must monitor those elections. But why? July is too early. Let's move it to August. Then we decided, okay, fine, let's take it to August. So you ask yourself now, the 25th of June, where does it come from? Where does it come from? Who decided on that? I refuse to receive, BK, a round robin decision. And I'm sure I've got people who work in corporates here. You cannot receive a round robin that says the next election will be on the 25th of June, yes or no. Then I ask again, and I do things in writing because I don't want people to say, me said so, she said so. Can we be told why we are having a date? Who decided on this date of the 25th when the date was July and the end of August? I think the Congress decided on the end of August. No answer. But I have asked. And I think it was not only me, the Vice President of Western Cape, the Vice President Kompela from Western Cape also wrote and say, but can somebody let us understand why we are having a date on the 25th? But that's the date that has been given to us. Will now go on election on the 20th. I just wanted to clear that. But then I saw a letter, BK, I'm sure you all media received it, a letter that I wrote to the CEO asking a date, or can we put a date of election? And I saw that letter going around the media. And what the association wanted to portray out there is that, but she's saying the date of, she's questioning the date of the election, but it's her who asked. She asked that this item must be, but they don't give them their response that they said it can't be on the agenda. So I'm trying to put all these things so that even when you listen to the radio, when you listen to, I guess there are people talking out there. When they speak, when you come in, you must be able to ask the relevant question, because if you don't have information, you might not be able to ask the right question. I'm putting that on that. But look, we have institutional and organizational challenge at SAFA. It's not a secret. We have serious problem of just adhering to the statutes that we have established. So what is it that we want to bring? What is this change that we are telling you? What is it when we say we want to go back on track? I think re tswile ko sporong hanyane man. Re santse re boele ko sporong. Development, competition. The competition that I've seen, it's when I had a Chappies Little League. I'm sure the legends that are here that played, they will tell you that's the last time they saw competition. Chappies Little League, it was under 10 and 12, under 19 Caltex, under 21 Toyota, under 15 Nike. Those were the competitions that were there that will be played by all the provinces, and then you go national, you have a winner there. Those competitions are not there. In South African Football Association, we have 343 local football association. Mulemule is one of the local football association in Capricorn region. Go Capricorn, you have got Mulemule, you have got Polokwane, you have got Lepelle Nkumbi, you have got Blowback. Those are the four, and the other regions will have that. Those 343 local football association, all of them, they are not funded. And that's where football plays. That's where development is. That's where our young boys, 10, 12, girls, 10, 12, must play there and be developed. We can't develop in South Africa. We develop players in the national team. You hear coaches coming here telling you, no, we don't worry about the result. We are still developing. There is no development in the national team. No way. The development starts there in the local football association. That's where tšhelete ya South African Football Association e santse ye kwa. E santse ye kwa. It can't go into our pocket. It must go into development of football. We must create competition. How we Maya Modi region in Lady LFA, they've got nothing. Nothing. And then we start saying, no, the national team is not doing well. The national team will start there. When you have development, then you are able to start. Then let's go to the region. We have got 52 regions. They are paid 35,000 rand a grant a month. And you must listen to me very carefully. If they are lucky. If they are lucky. Because you will get it today, and then you will get it in the next 5 months. So that 35,000 rand, remember there are staff members there. We have got a regional secretary. We have got the people that are working in the office. Those people, that 35,000 rand cannot even cater for them. It tells you how much our people that are volunteer. Remember, Pikadurile, we must volunteer. Yes. So people are going there to volunteer. How much will that 35,000 rand do? We get about 1.5 million US dollar. You can calculate those that have the dollar rate. I think it's 15 rand or 16 rand. Just calculate how much is it in rands. Why can't that money go to the local football association to build our young boys and girls out there? Help us to be able to do. That's the change that we want to bring. They must be able to be proud to make sure that each and every young boy and girl wanyaka football is there. Bana ba rena ona no ba ya go di rugby, ba ya go di cricket. You know why? Because ona le development there. Ba bona gona le development. So we cannot, football is a national asset. It's not for the people that are elected or the people that are in the region. Football is for South Africans. That's why Bafana ba loser. Agere banyana bona ba win all the time. Hey, Bafana ba loser. There's an outcry. South African ba kwata. Hey, Bafana ba loser, because banyaka a winning national team. Renali DNA of winning. We are a winning country. We want to win all the time. Let me go to school sports. Lengwelo re rapalelwa ka di local football association le di region. School sports. You know how many schools are there? How many schools are there that needs to, and how bona bu Dukes, bu Malombo, bu Rabuta there, bu Rapatlele there. All of them, they come from schools. How kalibella? Hona bano o babona kai bana ba tswang school. There's no football at schools. So we are saying, bona di legends, it is not a associate member. Can we give that product to the legends? Bona fellow Ronaldi legends, bakapalelwa lo kavara di koluza mo Limpopo. Mara, arba fe bona batla ikipiakanya, retla ba capacitate, will take them through courses, will train them, they will be able to have administrators, they will have, and they will know what to do. I don't think there's any associate member that would be better placed than the masters and legends. Obviously, there is USA, which is the university. They can also work with the university. The university is one of the key partners that we should have. Go to all the university in the country. Because Vanaledi services that they can give us, never went there. Go there. Vanaledi facilities, the grounds where our teams can play. Vanaledi physiotherapists, Vanaledi psychologists, Vanaledi doctor, Mola. Where best can these services be done kodi teaming arena, because they will help the team as they are practical. Not to rbata bato patelo, mara the universities key, one of the key partners that South African Football Association must have. Women's football, you know that we are doing very well, but we can do better. We can do better. The constitution that has been approved, women's committees out of that constitution. So it means women have no platform in a standing committee of SAFA where they can bring policies and be able to give those recommendations to the. It's out there. There is no Department of Women. It's something, a requirement that was requested by FIFA. I've asked until I decided I'm not going to ask anymore. When are we having a Department of Women in SAFA? When are we appointing a head of that department? And FIFA was very specific. That women's department must be run by a woman. It's not there. So ask yourself, with all the women that are there that have gone to FIFA courses and all that, why do we not have that structure? We want to bring back the things that will make the women's football to do even better. The reason why America is a powerhouse in terms of women's football, they did exactly what FIFA is asking us. They decided, or they are going to run women in the federation, not outside the federation. So we need to bring back that. We need to have women that are going to be policy makers in terms of the committee of women. We need it back into the statutes. I've spoken about school sports where I'm saying the legends must be able to take part. It must be the legends product. And I know the Department of Education is waiting for you. The Department of Sports is waiting for you to partner with the legends. And I know that FIFA has got so much money. You do not get, they only give you that one that they give to all 211 federations. But if you don't apply, if you don't have project, you won't get that money. But you can imagine if the legends group themselves together and they have project. Limpopo can have a different project from Gauteng and they can apply for that money. There is money. Every time we're in meetings, we hear South Africa never apply for these funds. Yes. There's even one country that has built a hotel because they went to FIFA and say, we have nothing. We believe if we build a hotel, we will be able to generate some funds into the people will hire, the teams, the other sporting codes will sleep. Those are the projects that you decide what is it, and if FIFA feels or this project it's value adding to football, they will be able to give you that. Let's go to relationship. Do we even know why we should have relationship? And one must ask that question. Maybe the media will ask. Let me leave them. I will answer it when you ask, because I know you are going to ask me that question. Do we have relationship? Who, in business, people who are in business here will tell you. In business, before you do a strategic plan, the first thing you must know your clientele. Mara business ya batho ba ke ba nyakang ba ba tlo rekang ka moshopong ba tswa kae. Ha batho ba dira di mall, they check or how many the population mo la pele ke batho ba kae ba o no dira mall o na le population ya batho ba 5. You must work on that. So the relationship that I'm talking about, you will agree with me. One is the university. I've already spoken about that. There is no way a federation can have a relationship. You must go there to the universities and find out what do they have, what services they can give to your teams, and what facilities do they have in their university. That's number one. Number two, your supporters, your teams. Well, let me say this. There is no SAFA without teams. If the team sits there's no SAFA at all. So, how only an organization without those teams, you do not have an organization. Then you look, these teams, how are we going to help these teams to survive? Because you ask me, you use your family money. I'm not staying in a double-story house today, because all that money that I should have built a double-story house, I gave it to football. It is in football. So you need to have that kind of a relationship. Yeah, the team is arena. Renale 144 teams in ABC Motsebe. Renale 144 in Sasol. Regional leagues, we have got 100. So we have got so many teams. We have got over 3 million players that are playing football in South Africa. So how do they go to the field? How do they go to the games? How do they go to the games? How do our supporters come here to come and watch Bafana play? How do supporters come here when we have a game at night? They don't have cars. The taxi industry. The taxi industry are there, they've got cars. Renal owners of the team don't have cars. So how best go to the taxi industry? We have got Santaco, we've got another taxi industry also. You go there, BK, and you say, we know that you charge people 3 rand per kilometer. Can you charge football? Because we have got 144 teams. We have got 16 teams here in Limpopo. We have got Sasol. We have got that. They're traveling every Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday. They're playing. They want... Can you give us 150? We giving. I go taxi rent So can you give us better rate so that but and over fa card di go SAFA but ba nang le di card ke di player tse di bapalang fela ka mole. So I'm saying, give everybody whiling in football, the owners of the team, they must be able, or I'm a member of SAFA. Then the taxi industry, the hospitality, hotel. But the team is all those. Why can't we go to the hotels and make a deal with them? We want a special rate. We are bringing you clients. You are not going to wait every time clients say 1-8. Every weekend you will have the teams sleeping there and all that. We don't do that. We have that. The municipality, all the 52 region, district. Capricorn region. Why can't you have the relationship with Salga? We have never met with Salga. You go to Salga and say you have got what they call infrastructure grant. And it's us who must go to them and say we need to have our teams having a place to be. It's women's teams because they don't have the field. All the time, the other divisions, they will have to postpone their game. We need to have our own facilities. Let me say, South African Football Association have no facilities. It's our business, it's our competence, that's where we play. We don't. Do we have offices? Lena, your office? Abanayo office. At least Capricorn in a office, it's our office, yeah, Capricorn. but most of the regions do not have any offices of their own. They have offices because they are renting there. This is after 2010 World Cup that FIFA left 640 million rand. We couldn't build an office, it's a 52. We couldn't do the fields that we are comfortable. You know, there is just so much we could have done with that money, but let's not even talk about it. It's done. That money, how many years BK from 2010? Yeah, 12 years, 640 million. So these are the things that we want to bring. We want football people to go to the field of play and play. Currently, the teams go to the field of the play. South African Football Association appoint the referees to go and do the game. Do you know who pays? The teams. They don't appoint the referee. They are appointed by us, but then they are paid by the teams. The teams must go there. This one must pay this much. That one must pay that much. Those referees must. So are we not encouraging corruption? Are we not encouraging bribery? Because you allow the teams to go there and talk to the referee. So if Kisanso go for 350, go for 3,000, you can imagine what you're going to do in that field. You won't even, some of the things you won't see them. So that is why we have so much violence, go the gaming, because the supporters, they know this thing, they see them, and then they become violent and they become suspended, or the teams become suspended because of that. But we're saying, let South African, let us take the responsibility of the referees. The referees are taro, honestly. But utswa go vembe, utsia the assistants how mo pulukwani lilo reva go bela bela. Game thoma ka 3 tlo fela ka 5 ka winter. Bo fitla byangwa abana koloi. How are they going to arrive? Ka 700 ba santse ba ishare ba le ba bararo. Look, we can't take South African football money. We can't do that. So now we this is my last one. BK, we go to a congress, we show that we have made, South African Football Association is a public organization. The public have got interest in South African football. You go there, you announce that we have made a profit of 1 million, right? But previously, you in 2019, you have written off 50 million. Yadi region. Ye longorno upaletu ko bapatela ka this month, that month. Hari tlhakanya kamuka, it's approximately 50 million rand. So no. This 50 million rand we write off because kichelete rena anyway gidi grant ko rena, and then we can balance our books. Then you decide, after you tell us that you have made 1 million, then you approve 20,800,000 to who? Not to football, to us. Let's pay ourselves 20,800,000. How do I come to that? We never had a congress in 2019, 2020, 2021. Go on a conference. I lo retaba gona conference. 130, 40. 130, 100. You can calculate it's about 500 and something. But why, if Renali on 20,000, we did a profit here 1 million, 20 million, why don't you take it back to the regions? Why don't you? And immediately after that, because we are going to election, 100,000 rand each, 4 million. The region, we are going to region, hey, we last got our grant in February, in March. you could have, with that 4 million rand, we could have paid 52 region for 2 months. But we gave it to ourselves. And I said to myself, should I send it back like I sent the 20,000 rand? Maybe I should have given to you, BK. I said, what do I do? No. I see that the candidates are going around the country being electoral officers. You can just imagine what it is. Electoral officer, and ba independent. They know each nothing. They must be totally independent. But what we have seen this year is the candidate themselves, NEC members, going around the country conducting elections. So, no. Ka ba berekisa tšhelete yone anka e busetsa kore ke ba fa tšhelete ya gore ba kgone go tsamaya ba ile go dira di-election unconstitutionally, unlawfully. So I give kwa. What do I do with it? No. Let me give it to 4 LFAs, Local Football Association. I decide 4 LFA, kilo lefa 25,000, 25,000, 25,000, 25,000. And I give a feel. The LFA to the 4. I feel the 25,000 because is the money to develop football. I'm sure most those LFA I'm sure Kumatoma Babali 25,000 gara account jabon. Mara Mushumo over Udirangodi Local Football Association. It's amazing. Got the little that they get. Because one must ask me, Marabona Benom Baberekabjang, I get a lead team. All the teams are in the LFA. How we are go how register? The beginning of the year was told to go Eastern Cape. Oh no, Western Cape. Where Harry register mama, register 8,880. We get nothing. Just go there and register. No outfit, not even one soccer ball. No soccer ball. And then as I speak to you today, last week, as I speak to you today, for 3 years, we have never received our prize money. At the end, they don't get anything with either. You can imagine. And now I know the teams, if you say to them, the registration fee is 20,000 rand or it's 10,000 rand. But when you register, you get I don't know if a lot of people know that in a football game you have got an away outfit and a home outfit. White. Yes. So how get 10,000 umpa outfit ya home and away umpale at least 10 balls. They will cover me for the rest of the year. So this is what the team play. They get nothing. The supporters come to the game, they get nothing. There's so much we get. Rewards. Ladies, about the rewards I get. Pick and Pay, ShopRite, Boxer, where get a reward for supporters where they stay so that if they buy there because they are a supporter of SAFA, then they get a discount. Just imagine how many supporters will come to the stadium. Now let's win a car. You come to the then Polokwane Stadium is full because the supporter like babonaing value for their money. That one supporter can win that car. And then the next thing, someone also want to win something. Win a house. Rekapalelwa ka 640 million rand. I'm sure every province is a 10. Hey, and then Bafana win a house, support, and a supporter fella, you must show your card or you are a full supporter of the association. So this is the things that we believe that football must go back on track. There must be change, and it's inevitable. Change has to come. I know there's resistance, and I'm here, I'm gonna plead. Matahar, I'm going to plead with this province. I'm going to plead with this province that we have got water back, we have got Capricorn, we have got Mopani, we have got Vembe, we have got Skukuni. I'm pleading with the leadership of those regions. I'm pleading with them. I know they've gone on radio, they've gone on paper that they are supporting the current president. And let me ask, I want the people when they call, when they speak, they must ask them. I think Matlahare is already, the last president they saw here was Ndate Kirsten Ramad. Asatle lunyaga di khetho. Atlo bona ka re province ya hae. Ba le butse bona batho ba hore na the president over Mbanyaka ba re rena re le this o kile atla ne mo provinceng a tlo bolela le batho ba bolo a pa re batho ba bolo le bona ba le ska re di team ya di vote. They vote because they are a member of the LFA. The teams will give the LFA a mandate to say rena really the team that go mule mule renyaka this person. Then the regional the local executive committee itla ya go region ya rena re le mole re boni o ka baka la go re mone a dira eng le eng re nyaka then region kona itla renga ya go province ya fitla no rena re buletse le district mara ye ya go ba le di messenger, you know, they are messengers. They are just sent to come and say no rena, but now we want to see democracy in South Africa, in South African Football Association. The normal procedure, yeah, each and every election is that candidates must be given an opportunity to go to each and every region and go and present their vision or what they call manifesto. Then the region will decide. But you cannot region decide when they have not even had anybody speaking. At least now I have done in my province. I have in the province, I have put myself and say, I have been nominated and I want the support. And I'm still requesting for that support. Agere nomination is another system. Voting is another system. Again, we have seen a lot of people nominated but not voted. So I'm asking Limpopo football leadership to go there and do the right thing. And I'm asking for the province's vote. I'm asking for the votes of 5 regions, which have 520 votes. So, Limpopo, I'm asking for those 20 votes because I am saying they are not giving those 20 votes to Ria. They are giving the 20 votes to change. They are giving 20 votes so that we can see the football that we have seen. Kadi competition it's not about me, and I'm very clear with it. It's not about this woman who's standing here. It's about making sure that there is participation in football. You can't have a statute like the apartheid system where you must be voted by your region and we are all in football. Now I've been in football all my life. I don't need to be voted. So you group people like the area group that were done by apartheid system so that the legends must be voted by the legends themselves. PSL must vote. Ke statutes sa rena se se ntshwa seo. Se approving ke sona ke lwang ka sona seo. So PSL must only I was served there as a board member. They can't nominate me. They only nominate Batuabalingo PSL. The legends, the associate member only nominates the associate members. The regions, the province only nominate from your province. You can't nominate somebody. If ko province yao. Agona mutho mmonang hore you can't go and nominate somebody else. So where is capacity? Are we not closing capacity outside of our association? We can't have those kind of statutes that are discriminatory. They are discriminating. Now this is and I must say this is the most interesting one out of that new constitution that was approved, that was adopted by the Congress, 26. We had two sets of statutes in that Congress. The one that was given on the 8th of December and the one that was given on the 8th of March. We were supposed to have a Congress, 11, and that Congress was postponed. And in terms of the statutes again, when you postpone a Congress, you must have it, reconvene it in 14 days. The agenda does not change. You can't send other documents. Now it is postponed, Gadi 10, but Vaseti Johannesburg, Papateti Batlile all over, but the Congress, Gadi 11, is postponed. And the Congress can only be postponed in a sitting Congress. You can't sit somewhere and postpone the Congress. The people must come here, and they were there, Gadi 10. Could have just called them and say, because of COVID, we are postponing this Congress, but you don't do that. Then you call it after three months, March. Then you bring another statute, March. I get before the 11, nothing else. Then you bring another statute or updated statutes, March. Then we go there. We debate. There was no debate. There were 3 regions that have sent a motion. And also, when you send a motivation, it's written in the Congress. It says, how do you amend? How do you send your motivation? You tell us, this is the statutes, this is my motivation, this is my change, and this. That is not what happened in there. The 3 regions that submitted their motion, you stand up yourself and tell us why you are changing the constitution. The 3 regions that have sent, they never had an opportunity to present then. Okay, the NEC just said, no, we received their statutes and then we rejected them without even taking us through what was rejected. But then we have the statutes, now we must have the final one that is signed. We get the signed copy on the 14th of April. I read each and from one page to the first article by article. Then I took the 8th of March, the 8th of December, 8th of March, 14. I went through. There are some wording changes. When people approve something, but approve grammatical error. Then, interesting, there's a new article. It was not there on the 8th. It was not there on the 8th of March. Then it is in the signed one. Airing this article. You must understand, we are living in a very difficult situation there. It's okay. This article says, it's Article 30.4F. It was never discussed in the Congress. It says, previous NEC members that have previously served in the NEC and or at a higher level shall not be eligible for position of SAFA. Let me explain thoroughly. Lucas Nthapo, the one that was the vice president previously, cannot be nominated or abe president. all those NEC members that have served in the NEC previously, Nomsa Matlangu, akere le mone a go mole. Nomsa Matlangu can serve because, and very capable, she's at the university. She can actually become a president of this organization. She can't be, she's not eligible. So you can see, it is, because it was not discussed, somebody said and say, Mara, ke ba tswalelela jwang ka ntle batho ba. E re ke tlishe article ka mo in the statutes that will take them out. And then it must be, Mara, bale, you know, Mudimu. Mudimu no nna ke mo servang. I love my God. You know, we shall know the truth, and the truth shall set SAFA free. Ke Mudimu wa ka o ke mo servang nna. Ukore o lokile wa tseba Modimo wa o tloela wa dira mathaithai marano tla o a o tshwara ka lethaithai le le teng la article 30.4F. Ya tse reng a ke re lenkwele re reng any person that has previously served in the NEC and or at a higher level is not eligible to be nominated. President wa rena wa South Africa, current president wa South African Football Association, was the vice president of CAF. So na ka rena ke a ngwala, I'm sure mangwala ka ke a mantsi kwa le ko SAFA, ke ngwadile ka botsisa ka re governance committee ke kgopela re le mpotse re nna why le botsa batho. Why are you telling South African that she's eligible to be a president of South African Football Association? She has been approved, but she did not make it to the NEC. And about understand. There is Article 25.15 ere. The president, the vice president, the CEO, the deputy CEO shall not belong to a region. So I got 25, I got 26, I can make vice president again. So I get Tomo original, I can mula ngasibe a regional, ngasi belong to any region. So Kibuchi Shijagar, Kili Mwale Chimolakar. Nkele lebelele article 25 point limphetule limputso re byang gore jwang ke se mara ya number 2 ke gopela re limputso gore mo president wa rena o ke mo respectang kudukudu yena aba serve as higher position o tla jwang le ro approved ba mphetutse bara wa wena o nominateilwe ke Tshwane na ka nominate wa ke Tshwane ene ke tshwere di copy a ke nna ke a itshepa ele dira dilo o be le di copy o rutlo gono ba bontsi nna ke nominateilwe ke Vembe nominated as a president and on the national list ene ka supporta ke Tshwane ka ba ka supporta ke region ya ko KZN ke sa tlo ya ke re betso ke mo polokwane sa tlo ya ke ba bontshe di document tseo mara ba santse ba mphitishe pele mo article hearing because after the Congress 13 days after the Congress e be le di nomination so go ra gore everybody wa reng yena o belong to a region go ra gore in 13 days you should have gone to a region and belong to a region so it's not possible now ba mfetutse yeo ya gore o nominateilwe ke Tshwane mara aba mphetule ya number 2 aba mphetula ya number 2 ya gore mo president wa rena served at a higher level mara ke re statutes so a ra tshwanela go se bala ga botsebotse a ke re se tlile ka botsotsi a sa tla ga botse a ke re le bone ke le tlhalošeditse gore se tswa kae mara ka re se gona ke rile bona di governance body tsela a ke re ba file signed copy ke sure ba fa copy ya di 8 le ya di 8 tsa December ya di December le ya March ba file fela e signweng mara yele e signweng yona ke swere nna ke re sign ya o ba le signature ena le article eo so South Africans, honorable guests that are here, the legends, the media, change is inevitable at SAFA. And you know, Mudimu veragagatelo. I don't know Lelisa, Mudimu nali timing ya high. Rikano barapalula, I don't know how. I get really a quabarabana 47 votes. Basheti ba vote le ko SAFA, barabana le 47 votes. Rena so you voter. Barabana le 47 bona. So I'm simply saying our ways are not God's ways. Mudim, uno tla dira ntho engwe nyane fela, and then South African Football Association will be saved. Is save ke modimo o re mo rapelang every day. Ya ke re thomile ka opela ko sha mo re mo rapela, re thomile ka moruti a re rapela, re na le moruti wa tla re tswalella modiro. So nna ke le leboga South African ko ikwekwetsi mabane ha bang interview ba mputisha jona diputisho tse ba sa tlo mputisha njona. Jo o re no ere ke re batho ba phone no mamria this mamria that mamria that a ona bolelang ka o mongwe mamria this o tla dira eng o tla dira ona pilo wa mputisha o rona maroba kule batho ba leo ka re ka moka banyaka wena ke ra wa se bona fela no ya le ko energy today o tla ba kwa ga botse o ba tlo phone ke o fe batho sebaka sa o phone ska fanna sebaka se stelle o fe batho ba o phone seba o rile hour. So I'm 15 minutes a le fena go re le khono tsena in le phone ka mo fetola ka ra ke ba kwile mara ke re change constitution ya rena every time re di electioning mo gongwe ke santse ke romele emotion ka then a ke rena le congress before the congress. Rena le congress engwe begane ka Saturday ke congress and rena le congress a gape next day ke SAFA for you. So I'm saying BK maybe ka congress ya Saturday I must send a motion can South African vote? Uskatla usa vote ke no tlisha motion le nna hore ka re ke ba kwele enke be le hore ka nnete o vote South African a nge ke setse ke tseba hore jalo I'm the president of South African Football Association. So thank you so much. Football is my passion. It's in the blood. So maybe it's a calling. And God's purpose, many are the plans of a man's heart. It is God's purpose that shall prevail. And again, let's go like a his purpose will prevail.